Welcome back. I hope you're following along on your notes. And as you're following along on your notes and completing your assignment, you should be where on your notes where it said, why did they or we come? Because at this time, we are traveling on the steerage because we're traveling back in time. So why did they come? Why did we come to the New World? All right. A lot of people came to the United States because they wanted a better life than the life that they had in Europe. They also wanted to escape difficult conditions like famine. Famine is where food doesn't grow. They wanted to escape land shortages. They wanted to escape religious and political prejudices. A lot of them immigrated so that they could come to this new world, make money, and then return home because they thought that if they did that, they were going to be a lot richer. Now, based on your document-based question, this was one of the diagrams that was in the document-based question. And based on this graph, you were to identify two conditions in their native land that caused immigrants to come to the United States. Also, based on the graph, you were to identify one situation in the United States that led to an increase of immigrants coming into the nation. All right, American ancestry. When we go back and we look at American ancestry, we're going to see that 3 out of every 20 people are German ancestry. 2 out of every 20 are Irish heritage. Many people are beginning to list themselves as Americans instead of their family origins because there were so many from so many other different places. And then the third highest was African American. Well, this is like in 2000. Yeah. All right, when we look at the American ancestry and where they settled, we see their first one based on alphabetically. African Americans, we know a lot of African Americans have settled in the South, and we know why because that came from American History 1. But this is just a map showing you where American ancestry, where a lot of people came in from other countries, and where they ended up settling in the South. According to the bar graph, what were the top 4 countries from which incoming immigrants arrived during the period of 1880 to 1930? Again, this is from your document-based question. So, we finally, after all of those days traveling, we finally get... Now, how many days did we travel across the Atlantic Ocean to get there? 16 days. I knew you knew that. All right, so after traveling for 16 days, we actually end up at Ellis Island. And this is what Ellis Islands look like. When you're coming off of the ship, this is the site that you see. Ellis Island is actually a small island that's in New York Harbor, and it was used to process immigrants as they came onto the East Coast. This actually took place after 1892, and it actually lasted from 1892 until 1924. Well, it lasted a little longer than that, but from that time period, we're going to get 17 million European immigrants that's going to pass through Ellis Island. All right. Now, once we got on the inside, and this is what we see on the right-hand side, this is the processing station. And what you're going to see is you're going to see many immigrants sitting in different, almost like cages. I don't know if you're familiar with cattle runs and things like that, but if you go to a farm or you go to a rodeo or something like that, they put the cows or the bulls in little holding areas like this until they're ready for them to come out. Well, they did that at Ellis Island. They put all the immigrants in like little holding tanks until they called for their group to come, and then they was able to go in and process them and determine where they were going to go. In this picture, we see a child. And understand this, when you traveled over to the United States, you had to take all your belongings. You could only take what you could carry in your hand. And so if you had children, you had 2 more hands to carry what you needed. All right. So they had very few personal belongings, but in this picture, we see one of the girls have her own doll that she brought with her to the New World. Alright, so we finally passed inspection. And once we passed inspection at the immigration station, we could be held there for days, waiting to get through. This process included a physical examination. They would check our documents to make sure we were from where we said we were. They would interview us. And then they would ask us if, basically find out if we were able to work. Because if we were not able to work, then sometimes we got sent back to our homeland. Okay? In this picture, we're going to see a family coming in. And there you are in the back. You photobombing. You see yourself? Okay, here's another picture of the processing station where they're also going to go through and they're going to look at the health of the people coming in. They're looking for lice in this picture. All right, they're looking to make sure that people are not blind, that they can see, because they don't want them to be a burden to the citizens of the United States. Did you know that it's estimated that the ancestors of almost one half of the people living in the United States today passed through Ellis Island as an immigrant? Today's Ellis Island is open to the public. It contains the Ellis Island Immigrant Museum. So you can go and view anything there at the time. All right, we're going to see a short clip. Let's watch it. Coming from YouTube. Shortly. While we're waiting for this video to come up, at this point you should be all the way down to, we have answered all the way up until Angel Island. So make sure that you have that. Alright, we're going to take a pause while the video is coming up.